Hey everybody, welcome to the next project. If you've been here before, thanks for returning, glad to see you again. If you're new to the channel, welcome. We're gonna do a lot of weird things for no good reason, but today we're kicking off kind of what could be considered a kit build. We have a very vintage Warmoth neck that's probably 15 years old, give or take a few days, and a Strat-ish body all ready to go. They're supposed to be together. Somebody had picked this up years and years ago. This was going to be their dream guitar, and it probably lived under a bed or in the closet for the longest time. Now it's in my hands. We have got a lot of things to change already, so let's start the next project. So we're kicking off working on the neck a little bit. It's got a few interesting features to it. It's all pretty nicely done. However, there are things we need to address. We have a pretty extreme headstock angle, unless you're used to Gibsons. We are routed for a Gibson style nut, which would be fine. But then I got looking at the trajectory of the strings, and they get to the nut, and then they're gonna have to go like this to get to the tuners, which many people have made that work, but I'm not a huge fan. So we're going to change this to a locking nut. So a little bit of adjustment needed up here to make a locking nut fit. It's in the mail, it'll be here soon. Moving on to the fingerboard. Nice rosewood fingerboard from back in the day when rosewood was easily used for everything. We have a compound radius, which I was a bit surprised to see. It runs from 12 to 20 inches, so it's a pretty extreme compound or conical radius. It has nickel fret wire in it right now, roughly 35 thousandths or 38 thousandths high by about 110 wide, so medium wide fret wire. And you know me, I like doing fretwork, so am I gonna pull the frets on this one? They've never been used. That would be crazy. Oh, that sounds like an invitation. Have a Strat style heel, which is good. And we have the corresponding Strat style pocket in the body. However, they don't like each other. So that's one of the first things we have to do as well is fix the body. Have to do a little bit of sanding to get the neck to fit in there. Let's get rolling with the next project. Let's keep rolling with the next project. The reality that about the only thing that's going to be Stratocaster on this guitar when it's done is the body shape. The neck is Strat length, but the headstock is different. I'm getting away from the Strat tremolo type thing, going with more of a Floyd Rose style tremolo. We do have 3 pickups, but it's not 3 single coils. We got a humbucker stuck in there. That's going to be interesting. I've got some ideas for that. Maybe like a P rail. Yeah, that could happen. Might plug a couple holes or just who knows. I don't know what I'm doing. So, in the spirit of winging it, we are adding a comfort contour, kind of a shredding pinky access to the body. And you know what? Use whatever tools you have, and if you don't have tools, grab a caulk tube and some sandpaper. That works too. Improvise, adapt, overcome. And do a lot of sanding. Sanding is fun. We like fun. Giving it a quick test fit to see how the access fits, and oh, do I want to add access to the top? Well, no, really wouldn't do any good. Yeah, that's looking nice. I like it. All right,
So I do have one hole in the neck pocket that I need to fill because we're changing some things. And I spent like 15 minutes looking around for a dowel that fit. And then I was like, why don't I just turn down a dowel? Did this in like 3 minutes. So I wasted 15 minutes looking and made a dowel in like 3 minutes. Ugh. So anyway, this is not a precision dowel, but you can make them about any size you want. One thing to know though, the smaller you make it, the more easily they're gonna wobble all over and try to break as you spin them through the steel plate. So go slow. The smaller the diameter of the hole you're whittling down with your dowel making apparatus, go a little bit slower. Will turn out a pretty good dowel if you just need to plug a hole or put two pieces of wood together and just something to hold it. If you're trying to make an ornamental piece, something glamorous, this is probably not the way to do it. Improving yet another creature comfort area, which is the back of the neck pocket on the back of the body, thinning it out, giving it a little bit of taper, just so it's a little easier to get our hand up on the higher register frets. Using some gloves, thank you Laura, and this is just to keep my fingerprints on my fingers. That Shinto rasp, while it's not the most dangerous tool you'll ever use, it will grate your fingerprints away, so, tape your fingers up if you need it, or put on a pair of gloves. I opted for a pair of gloves today. Dropping the new neck plate on, giving it a little trace around, try to visualize where it's going to go. And we're about ready for the next little bit of cutting. Ooh, it's getting exciting. And magically, another template appears. Well, not so magically. Basically, the camera was not turned on while I was making the template. So the magic was lost because of operator error. But the template is taped in place, and a mortise bit used to cut down about, maybe 1/8 of an inch into the body, and test fitting the new neck plate in there. And it's just a little bit sloppy. And that's so when I paint and clear coat the body, that size is going to reduce ever so slightly, and we don't want to make it so the plate won't fit in the hole. So we made it just a little big. Hopefully it's big enough. Back to using the Shinto rasp to round off that corner just a little bit, trying to make it sexy. Ooh, a little bit more sanding. I know some of you really want me to do a lot of sanding, so here you go. A little more sanding. Always some sanding. I don't know what type of wood this body is made out of, but it is very soft and very light. And as I was sanding and routing, I was like, I need to toughen this up a little bit. So I'm using some cyanoacrylite or CA or super glue or crazy glue, whatever you want to call it. This is thin viscosity. And I'm just kind of floating it in there, and the body is absorbing it pretty quick. It's going to dry and kind of falsely petrify the surface a little bit. That'll help. Once the super glue has dried thoroughly, so I don't stick my fingers to the body, I put the neck and the body together and use a centering punch or a transfer punch to transfer the screw location holes into the neck. And then I went over to the drill press and drilled those holes in. I also had to find some screws that were the right length. The neck plate I have came with some screws, but when I put them against the body, they were going to be a little too long. So I had to dig through my box of tricks and find some screws that were just right. Then I pre-threaded the neck, used a little bit of wax on a spare screw, used the drill to run it in and out, being careful not to drill too far. And then everything kind of goes together. It's looking like it might be a guitar someday. there's something in the next video, or the video after that, I don't know. Goto 1996 Tremolo. It's a Floyd Rose style trem, and it's really nicely made.
Putting off till today what I should have done yesterday, and that is trimming out veneer options for this guitar. And I have two options. I have black Limba, which is a really nice woodsy looking veneer. Has a little bit of figure, some blemishes or birthmarks in it, which I can work around, so that's all cool. But I think it'd be a really nice looking guitar body, having this on the face, paint the sides and back. Also put this on the face of the headstock, so that would look great. My second option is of pearl eucalyptus, which is a highly figured, almost a silvery gray and white look. Has a lot of ripple and flame. It has nice ribbon stripes running this way and kind of flamey fingers going out in that direction. Would look pretty cool. The question is, do I use this straight, so I have this silvery white looking guitar, or do I put a stain on this, sand it back to some degree so the white flame still is there, but with a darker accentuated kind of base figured color? I don't know. Gonna have to do a little testing maybe. So while that's rattling around in my head, I think I'm going to jump ahead and do some routing templates for the Goto 1996 Floyd Rose style bridge. And I may or may not do a separate video for making the templates and doing a Floyd Rose style routing install, but I'm going to do a condensed version for this project. So if you'd like to see more of an in-depth Floyd Rose, how to make templates, if you don't buy them, because you can buy some routing templates, obviously, but I don't typically do that. But if you'd like to see that kind of thing, let me know, and I could definitely put that separate video together. But for now, let's figure out what we're doing and continue the next project.
Thank you for hanging out with me through the launch of this next project. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to make up a lot of stuff. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Hit the thumbs up button to let YouTube know you like this stuff. Ring the bell for future notifications. And please, please, please leave some comments. I love hearing from everybody all around the world. We've got a really great family who like this stuff. That's cool. Take care of yourself and those around you. Bye.